like to call old man Isaiah to the witness stand. And if you don't mind, I want to swear him in. Do you? Isaiah promised to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Isaiah would say, yes, I will tell the truth. I want to simply ask you, Isaiah, is the presence of the Lord in his house? Isaiah would say, well, Hayes, I'll tell you, I had an experience I'll never forget. It was in the year that King Uzziah died. I saw also the Lord, he was high and lifted up. But what amazed me, even though he was high and lifted up, his train filled the temple. And so I want to encourage you today, if you have a problem, take your problem and stretch it out right where you are. And I declare the Lord is willing and waiting to make a miracle happen in your life. You have to understand that he is a miracle worker. He knows how to do what no other power can do. Let me ask you, do you have any rivers that you think are uncrossable? Do you have any mountains that you cannot tunnel through? The good news is God specializes in the impossible, and he will do what no other power is able to do. Now those watchers in the synagogue, since they could not stop Jesus from healing a man with a withered hand, well, let's just pause for a minute and shout about the fact that even the watchers could not stop Jesus from healing a man of his infirmity. But though they could not stop him, they started plotting how they might destroy the Lord. And finally they came up with a scheme. But what they did not understand is that God can take the schemes of men and work them together for our good, because the scheme that they came up with contributed to our greater healing. You know, they decided to arrest Jesus on trumped-up charges, took him to court, and found some men who were willing to lie on the Lord and accuse him of things he had not said. But they were setting up the Lord for our greater healing. The tool that they used to take his life became the symbol that represented help and healing. There's a place down here by the name of the Red Cross that helps, yes, son, and does everything they can to heal us in our physical bodies. Red Cross, red because on the cross over 2,000 years ago he hung, bled, and died. But though it happened over 2,000 years ago, 700 years before it took place. Isaiah saw it and recorded what he saw. In Isaiah 53, he said, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, who's acquainted with our grief. Ain't you glad he knows what we go through? He understands our grief. Isaiah said, we hid, as it were, our faces from him. He was despised and he was rejected, but surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But here's the good news. Though he hung on yonder's cross, yes, son, he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquity. The chastisement of our peace was laid upon him. It is but by his stripes, hallelujah, we are healed. Yes, son, he died just like he said he would. He dropped his head in the locks of his shoulders. You do know he died. He died on a Friday. The devil started to throw him a party. Said we finally got the Lord in a grave. But I wish I could have been there. I would have told the devil, don't throw your party too soon. Sunday morning is on the way. Something started happening right early Sunday morning. There was a rustling in the grave. Jesus got up from the dead. The devil went to talk with death. He said, death, I thought you had him. Death said, well, I've had men before him and none of them got away. The only ones that got away was Elijah. He caught a chariot and went back to glory. But everybody in the grave, I still got them. The devil said, well, what happened? The devil said, well, death said, well, early this morning he started moving. I put my left hand on him, but he kept on moving. I put my right hand on him, but he kept on moving. Put my foot on him, but he kept on moving. I put both feet on him, but he kept on moving. All I can say is he rose just like he said he would. He got up. Didn't he get up? He got up. Oh, power in heaven and earth is in his hands. Let me tell you, we all have some disabilities. You have yours and I have mine. But this morning, since I know he's present, I'm stretching out my disability. I'm standing forth. I'm confessing my faults. He's able, yes, son, and he's able. The presence of the Lord is here. The presence of the Lord is here. The joy of the Lord is here. The peace of the Lord is still here.